Hello everyone and welcome to another video. My track guide for the M2 going around Winton Raceway, the national layout. Let's get into it. For qualifying we want to start out on the right side of the track and we want to be braking once this road here on the right starts. Once I get to that I aim for about 75% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the first curb. For turns 1 and 2 we are using all of the curbs, but only the red and white parts. The car will bounce around quite a lot. That will take a bit to get used to. Once we are on the first curb we will start to apply the throttle again. Ease it in the beginning, just to maintain control. Once we get to the second curb, we will ease off the throttle again. When off the curb, we'll start to go full throttle again. Make sure to ease it in, it's really easy to slide here. Then we want to stay on the left side of the track. Here for turn 3, we brake just about a car length before the 50 board here on the left. Again here, I aim for about 75% brake pressure. And we're easing that off all the way to the inside curb. Once we are leaving the curb, we will start to apply the throttle again. We do have a lot of room on the outside we can use to help us maximize exit speed. And we also need that room for turn 4. So make sure to utilize all of the curb here on the outside. We do need to brake a little bit for turn 4, and my braking marker is when the white line becomes narrow. Here we want to hold just about 20% brake pressure, and we pretty much want to hold it all the way to the inside curb. This curb is flat so we can cut a lot of it, and just as we get to the curb we'll start to apply the throttle again. Here we're easing in the throttle to make sure we get traction. Now bring the car over to the right side of the track for turn 5. Make sure to turn in so we get close to the inside curb, and once we get to that curb we'll start to brake. I do an initial hit to about 25%, and then it's just about holding a little bit of pressure, making sure we stay just about mid-track all the way through turn 5. We do that so we have an easy time through 6 and 7. Here it's all about maintaining control of the car, making sure you don't slide at all. I like to stay in 4th here. Make sure you don't hit any of the curbs. I hit in this one and you can see it gives me a snap of oversteer, and if you hit the big one you will bounce around. This one is all about control. For turn 7 I don't have a good braking marker for you, but this is where I start to brake. We don't want to go all the way out to the outside curb, as we just drive too many meters with that. So keeping quite a tight line. We are asking quite a lot of the car here, so make sure you don't brake too hard. I go for about 35% brake pressure, holding that somewhat all the way to the curb on the inside. I'm all the way down to 2nd as I get to the curb. Once we get to the curb, we'll start to apply the throttle again. Again, easing it in because it's really easy to lose the rear here, because we're asking quite a lot of the car. For turn 8, I'm staying close to the white line on the left, and just about a car length before the curb here on the left. We will start to brake. I aim for about 30% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the middle of the corner. We want to stay close to the curb, and in the middle of the corner we want to start to apply the throttle again. Of course we are easing it in again, and I'm staying in 3rd all the way throughout the corner. Then I stay just about mid-track for turn 9. We need a good exit out of turn 9 because there is a fair bit of straight afterwards. And I'll brake once I get close to the marshal's post here on the right. Once I start to brake I aim for 70% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the top of the corner. Once you can only see Winton signs in front of you, you should be able to go on the throttle again. Here again we are easing it in to make sure we have enough traction going out of the corner, so we are not spinning the tires and losing time. Then we want to go over to the right side of the track for turn 10. Turn 10 we also need a good exit out of, again because we're going on to a long straight. Our braking marker here is the 50 board on the left, and we are braking just a car length before it. Here again I aim for about 70% brake pressure, easing that off all the way to the curb on the inside. We do not want to hit this curb because it will unsettle the car. We do have a wide curb on the outside we can use to maximize exit speed. Once I'm at the inside curb, I'll start to apply the throttle again. And of course, we are easing it in to make sure we have enough traction. But as you can see, it was not as good as another pass I had, so with a bad run out of this, you can see you lose quite a lot of time. For turn 11, we want to be on the left side of the track, and we want to brake just about 2 car lengths before the 50 board here on the right. Here, I aim for about 75% brake pressure, and we're easing that off all the way to the inside curb. It's really easy to brake too late here, making you lose the rear on entry. Once we're at the inside curb, we want to start to apply the throttle again. Just make sure to ease it in because we only need to get out to the pit road here by the curb. Make sure to be all the way up on the curb here. I brake once I lose the end of the curb. Here is a quick hit to about 35%. Quickly easing off the brake again and let the car roll into the corner. Once we get to the inside curb, start to apply the throttle again. And of course again we're easing it in and using all of the available exit curb as well. And now it's a drag race down to the start finish line. And that's my lap around Winton in the BMW M2 at a time of 1 minute 27.8. I have more track guides for the BMW linked down below. Hopefully you found this one useful. If you did, leave a like down below, consider subscribing as well. And now for the uninterrupted hot laps.